All right, guys, welcome back to another drive. We're going to see if we can go right here from my client's house and make our way all the way back home. And you can see that it's kind of nutty weather out there. The full self beta system is working. It's operational. It's letting me put it on right now. So we're going to be doing some drifting and seeing if we can get all the way back to our house and how good this update actually is. Now, you may have seen another video, I'm not sure at this point if I decided to release it or not, about how it's doing. I really am impressed with this update in terms of driving. I think it is really, really good. So let's just follow through here and see. I'm going to let us go about 12, 13 miles an hour to make this turn. And watch what happens here when we turn in snow and ice. Watch this. See, the car is sliding. It's sliding. Oh, and it corrected itself there without kicking me out in the last drive. It constantly kicked me out for doing too big of drifts with the beta on. So that was actually really good. So I'm not letting it go the speed limit of 25. It's just solid ice. I don't want to slide through and hurt my car or anyone else. But the car is not designed for this, so please don't take the advice that the car is made to go drive in snow and ice. That's not at all what I'm trying to display here. So we're sliding. Hear that? That was about a 3-foot slide as the car hit the brakes for that stop sign. So it's creeping forward here, and it sees it's okay, and then we're gonna go. There we go. See, it said take over immediately because it tried to accelerate away from that stop sign, and it was just spinning out. So we're back in control here. The car is rolling, and we got a stop sign here again. Nice, easy, slow, smooth all the way to that stop sign. That was really great. I have noticed though, it's a little bit slow to get going, but once it gets going, it accelerates very well. Stay out of that snow. Like right now, it's like one tire is in that snow because it's trying to center itself in this lane where it needs to be way further that way right now, instead of being right on the edge of it. And so if I was driving myself, I would obviously, and if I wasn't recording a video, I would have corrected some of that. But when I'm making a video, I let the car pretty much do whatever it wants, so you guys can really see what the car is currently capable of and what it's doing. So, all right, we're gonna head on this little back road right here. Again, a little ice and snow at the stop sign, not too bad right here. We'll have a lot more of this when we get back to my house, so hang tight on that. And by the way, feel free to jump around to the video. Towards the end of this video, it's gonna be a little more exciting. I live at about 800 elevation higher than this, so it's a lot more crazy back home. But it said just compact snow and ice over this whole area for about a week now, and man, there's just been a lot of just nasty weather. And so as long as the rain doesn't kick up, we should be able to make it all the way back. But this update, which by the way, the update we're talking about here today is, and again, it's the one we've been running it on, not upgrades, software. Oh, okay, look at this. Turning the corner, but we're in the snow. Okay, so the plow kind of went right through the middle of the road, not on each lane. We are on the beta version of full self-drive of 10.8. Okay, train tracks right here. Are we doing any slowing or anything? No. Okay. And the software is the 2021.44.25.6. So that's one we're on, which is I think what most of you guys are on. The greatest thing about this, like I pointed out, is that you've got the full screen. I love the full screen. I think it's beautiful. I love that we have the blue line now that shows us where we're going versus the dotted line. I think that's great. I love that we have the blind spot indicators, now the camera that pops up, all that. So this drive is really all about going through and seeing how far we can get, because I already kind of went through and showed you guys all my favorite stuff in the last video. So if you haven't taken a second to check that one out, I'll link it down below and you guys can go down there and see it. But I really went through all of my favorite things that I did, that I like about this update, as well as we did a bunch of drifting on full self-drive in the snow. So I think I titled the video actually drifting in full self-drive. Super fun. So here's a corner that we're slowing down for quite aggressively. 15 miles per hour slowing down. In fact, even more so now, 18 miles per hour below the speed limit around that corner. That was an unacceptable slow down speed, way too slow. There was really nothing about that corner aggressive. We almost crossed the yellow line there, or almost touched it, I mean. And we're going right on the speed limit. We're not over at all. And with the amount of rain coming right now, it's very possible that we're going to get kicked out of the full self-drive. So if that happens, you won't see this video. So we've got a roundabout coming up, or not a roundabout, like a round on ramp. It's just going to put us on Highway 18. And then once we're on Highway 18, what's going to happen? It's going to kick us into the regular auto steer that we've had, the Navigate and Autopilot that we've had, not the full self-drive, different system. So we'll see how that all comes together, how smooth that gets. Hopefully it'll turn us onto the freeway before it turns off the full self-drive because of weather. See, there's the warning right there saying that it may be turned off. So it's already seeing that. The wipers are going stronger, all automatic. The car's doing all this. So far, I haven't done a single thing to help the car. And here is the on-ramp. Okay, there's our blind spot camera popping up right there. Slowing down to get on. Very good. Okay. Nice and smooth. Okay, we need to get some acceleration now. So we got a 20 mile an hour recommended curve up here. Very, very steep. Let's see how the car does it. Why? What were you beeping at me for? It didn't give me any warning. It just beeped at me on that. That was interesting. Poor weather. We already know that. All right, good. That was really comfortable. And I didn't feel like it was going too slow, which has been probably one of my biggest complaints was it was going too slow too often. Now here you're seeing it. Now we're actually in regular auto steer, okay? All right, so we're cruising now. Now, it's not giving me the navigate and autopilot option. Now, it did do it, the full self-drive, when we were off the freeway, but now that we're on the freeway, it will not put on the autopilot or the navigate and autopilot option. It's probably because of the weather. Now, there it goes. Now it just kicked on. So it was okay, finally it was okay with it. Now, it's not as exciting being on the full screen when you're not on the beta because there's really nothing it's showing you on here. So we'll pull this back and make it a little more what we actually need here. You know, I also mentioned in the last video that I think they really could have made the speed limit a lot bigger on the full screen, because I think when this is wide like that, it's kind of nice how everything slides and lays out, but I'd like that to be just, I mean, make it twice that size would be really nice, but unfortunately it's not. But hey, I'm just nitpicking. That's just my opinion. A lot of people probably don't share that. It's definitely fine the way it is. All right, so next time you see this, we're gonna be taking the exit, because there's really nothing to show you, nothing exciting. Okay, I lied. Actually, we have a big semi coming up in front of us here, and I wanted to see how well the car is going to navigate around this semi as we creep up on it. Remember, we don't use radar anymore, so we're going to be doing this all. Okay, lane change, there it is, changing into faster lane. Again, this is only something that your car will do if you're on, if you've paid for the full self-driving package. It will do this if you're not on the full self-driving beta, in terms of like what we've been doing in the inner city. Okay, so it got out of the fast lane really quick. I don't know if it's because of the car coming up behind me really fast, but that was actually a really quick decision to get back out of it so that this guy could pass, which is nice. Okay, now look at this. Now we're gonna get back over really quick. That is interesting how quickly it did that. And I really like that. That's actually like very polite to the drivers that want to go faster. But once again, I have another car slammed up against the back of me here. Take a look at, you can't really see it because of the rain, but they're, you know, car length behind me. If we pulled this out here, you might see it a little bit better. But we're going to actually go for the pass this time before, I mean, I'm going 8 over the speed limit. It's not like I'm making that guy drive the speed limit in the fast lane. But if we spun this here, yeah, you still can't even see them. I wonder if the car can even see them. There's so much blow up off the road. Man, it's just such a nasty time of year to live in Washington State. So we'll see how quickly it gets over here now that we pass the semi. Oh man, look at how fast that was. That was really nice. You know, one thing that I noticed here is that when the camera is out, the warnings do go above the camera, but it's really clunky. It would be nice to see the warnings come from the side rather than the camera come up and then the alerts pop up over top of it, kind of go over top of the camera. It just looks kind of like not really well thought out in that area. Like, have the camera come up and then the alert slide from the side would be a lot nicer kind of UI layout there. So we're coming up on the exit right here. So as soon as we take this exit now, the car is going to take it, and the car's been driving the entire time. What's going to happen is it is going to then put it back into the full self-driving mode. I'm going to counter this, you guys, because I think what's happening, yeah, it wants me to take a different exit, but I don't want to go that direction. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put it into back into autopilot right here now that we've taken the exit, and this should reroute itself fairly quickly here. Now, see, now we're full self-drive. Let's see what's going to happen here. I'd like it to reroute itself. Come on now. I don't want it to put me back onto Highway 18. Okay, there we go. Now it's going to reroute. There we go. Now we're good to go. All right, let's see how the car handles all this now. So we're gonna take a right onto this main arterial here. This is a 35 right here, turns into 45 a little further ahead. There's our camera, there's our right blinker. Now we can do a free right on red, and we're the first car up, so we'll see how well it does it. We got a guy named Scott inside of that death vehicle to the left of us there, which you guys can't see, but it's a funeral car. We're not nearly far enough ahead to make this free right on red. So I don't know how the car is planning on doing that, but it should be going and looking right now to see if it's even possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on the accelerator. So I'm doing this right now just so the car can at least go ahead and see. So now the car can at least see. Okay. So now the car can at least see. Let's see if it'll actually go when there's a gap. I don't know why it wouldn't creep forward. Usually it creeps forward right there to make that turn. Let's see what happens. A hearse. That's the vehicle I was thinking of, a hearse. All right, so after this semi, we should be able to go. Let's see if the car will go. It is not going to go. Okay, so I'm pressing on the accelerator right now and making it go through this red, free ride on red situation. And you know what, to be honest, I don't even know. Maybe the car is not okay with free rights on reds yet. Maybe it won't even do that with this update. So maybe one of you guys can confirm that if you know the answer to that question or not. So right there, though, it definitely didn't, nor did it even try to. So that tells me that because it didn't even creep forward, that it probably isn't. All right, now that the traffic is going, it is time for us to start accelerating as well. The car waits for the car to get ahead a little bit, about, I'd say, 3 car lengths, and then it begins to accelerate nice and smooth. So it's feeling really good. So far, aside from me having to tell the car to go through that free ride on red, which I don't think is a knock on the car, I don't think it does that yet. It's done a perfect job driving me here. I've had no complaints, no phantom braking. It's all been really nice. Oh man, I'm stuck at 35 miles per hour. I'm not sure why that was the case. I would assume that when the speed limit sign came, the car just didn't see it. Maybe there's a vehicle in the way or something, which is, I'm not sure. It's kind of one of the problems of not having the map telling the speed as well. But anyway, we're good now. All right, we got another stoplight going through right here. Big intersection, nice and steady and smooth through it. It's all going through really well. So what's happening here is we got a merge. So when cars are coming up on this side, one of the things I was kind of hoping we get to see, but there's no cars there right now, is other cars trying to come in and the car letting them, giving them some room. It's done an okay job at that, but overall I'd say that it's pretty hesitant to let the car in. It really accelerates too much and makes it uncomfortable. But we never got to really check it on this drive, so I'm going to catch it on the next one. And the next thing here is there's that weird spot on the mapping system up here ahead. There's a light that we're about to go through that the car has never once been able to drive through. Even if it's green, nobody around anything, it will not drive through the light, even on the full soft drive beta like we're on now. Pretty bizarre. So we're going to see if we can make it through it right now, because that would be really cool. Come on, Nico, you got this. Okay, it's a red light right now, which is fine. When it turns green, it should go through this light. But even with cars in front of me before, it wouldn't go through the light. So I'm really hoping this happens. All right, here we go. So the car is starting to go. All right, let's get moving. Here we go. Are we going to make it? And no. See, the car slowed down. I'm accelerating myself through it again. It's just so bizarre. So that wasn't fixed in this update either. No big deal. All right, you can see we're starting to get back into a little higher elevation. Starting to get snow in the middle of the road and all that, ice in the middle of the road. It's going to be straight climbing all the way up to my house in Maple Valley. We're about at 250 elevation right now. We're about at 980, about 1,000 where my house is. So we've got a lot of climbing to do, and the weather just constantly gets worse the further up you go. And but one thing that's really nice is this morning when I looked out my window, we had freezing rain, everything was a solid sheet of ice. I just turned on the climate control in my car, melted the window, melted the roof, melted everything other than just like the trunk and the hood of the front. Everything else was all nice and melted. Even my door handles, I was able to walk out and open up. They were just kind of slushy snow, ice. I had it probably hot for about an hour. It was on, just kind of warming everything up. So it was enough to melt the handles. I'm not saying it would do it in colder conditions. It was only like 32 to 31 degrees, maybe 15 degrees would never have worked. But in that condition it worked, which was kind of cool. All right, so the car is starting to freak out a little bit. It's starting to get over here into the muck on the side as it's trying to keep itself centered, which is a normal driver would not do that. They would obviously stay on the plowed, clear part of the road. I'm surprised the beta's still going. It is just nasty out here. But the wipers are doing a good job keeping them front cameras clean, so we're trudging right along here. See how long it lasts. Hopefully it'll make it back to my neighborhood at least. But you can see the snow's getting thicker here. You know, at this area, we probably have between 6 to 8 inches right now on the road, on the sides of the road, like the side, the middle, turn off stuff in our yards. Down from about 18 inches that we've had over the last week or so up in this area. So it's pretty wild weather. We don't usually get the snow and stuff till February, but we got it on Christmas, which is pretty bizarre. And you know, so that's why all the videos stopped on my channel. I really couldn't go anywhere, and I was in California at the time. Well guys, I'm going to end the video right here. We're back in town. It made it all the way there. I mean, there was a few interactions I had to do, but it wasn't because the car was supposed to have been able to do it. You know, turning out of a slushy, icy road where it was slipping and drifting. Obviously, the car's not supposed to be able to do that. And then turning left on a red light wasn't supposed to be able to do that either. So I think it did a great job. Everything that it was programmed to do at this point, it did very well all on its own. I have no complaints. Really impressive drive. Thanks for watching. If you guys haven't already, be sure and subscribe and hit that bell. We got a bunch of tips and tricks videos coming up on the towards the end of the week on Fridays, and more drives coming up on Monday. So thanks for coming back again and watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.